What up? That's you.
Well,
That's your cue.
I still had the I know I still had the music playing even after we
Oh,
was already on, but we gonna do it anyway.
I'm like,
Oh, you know why? It's
I
because
no,
I
I
got
don't know why. Thank
no, I
you.
had YouTube going.
Oh, I
That's
don't even
why.
have my hardware on, but I am still married.
Oh, already.
I've been in the house all day. I've been in the house all day. So
I'm
and then I
telling.
went to work out and I don't wear my rings out because they robbing people.
Mm,
And I was outside today working out. So you know,
right.
mm-mm. I ain't
Well,
trying to have to kill nobody because I would have to kill somebody over my ring set. Like they'd be like, or if something happened to me, just know I went out.
I went out. I went out
With a
swinging.
fight. Y'all will be able to say, no, that girl scrapped for her life
Right.
over
Why is
those
not
rings.
giving me the link
Okay.
on that? Send me the link so I can do this. But we gonna start off, y'all. What's going on, everybody? It's your man, 100 grand, your personal agent for change, making life easy, Barzini.
And I'm fempreneur extraordinaire, tech diva, all day. All day. Dre Renee.
And this is the crossroads, where apparently there's more than one rule now. But the first one is
Be free to be you.
see, at least I get the lines right. I just can't never.
I have the lines. I was about to say be free to be me. I got to be me, you, us.
Hey, no, it's literally not doing what it's supposed to do.
I don't understand. What is it supposed to do? When you go to share, when you're there on the podcast page and you hit the share, you don't see it?
I got it.
Look at you. I believe in you.
You know what? You know what? I'm
Don't
not
you all
playing with you
believe in
today.
Barzini?
I'm
Yes,
not
you gotta
playing.
be free. I'm not mad at you. Be free, Hope. She's like, yeah, be free.
I'm not playing with y'all today. Anyway, it's already on the page. Whatever.
Yeah, it's on the page, but if you wanted to share it to
No,
your
it's already on
oh,
mine.
oh, good for
I,
you.
you look nice today.
Thank you. Hashtag husband said the same. I said, "Oh shoot!" He's like, "Look at you, looking all nice." I said, "Well,
Right.
I'll
Dressing
see
like you
you
got
after
a
the. I'll see
dressing
you
like you got
afterwards."
a work husband. Well, technically you do
I
since you
do.
working from.
I do. I
Hey, that's
definitely
kind of
do.
dumb that your actual husband is your work husband.
It's my work husband. Yes, honey. We
Yeah.
here in the house, but we actually do work. We get work done.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, we get work done.
He
Yes.
putting in work.
No, I meant we. Anywho,
I'm just, hey, you are a married woman and a
I
newlywed to
am.
boot, so
I am. I am.
you
So
are
we
well with
absolutely do.
you are well
Actually,
within your legal, moral, spiritual rights to be as nasty as you want at whatever point of the day you want to do it.
hey, we
I'm
do.
just, I'm just saying. Yes, you got to be free. Hope. What's going on over there on IG? Again, IG. If y'all want the actual experience, head over to Facebook or YouTube, where I was getting feedback and hearing music in my ear and tripping on the intro. And then
Yeah, it was probably picking up on maybe on Instagram because it's a
no, it
delay.
was no, it
No.
was I didn't mute YouTube, and YouTube was coming through the mic, and then that's where I
Um,
was getting the feed. So the delay, I'm thinking like, why do I still hear the music
got it.
or
Got it.
whatnot? So there's a lot going on in the world this week.
Whoo, child. I
You
need a
trying to
break. Somebody was like, "Oh, what is your theme song for the week already?" And I was just like, "It's a hard knock life. It is. This is a
Mhm,
rough week for me. I'm trying to wind down all of the hats that I'm wearing so
mhm,
that I can go on a nice little sabbatical, vacation, holiday, everything. Like just
mhm,
trying to bring it down. And I'm like, it's a lot of stuff to do. And everybody is not cooperating with my desire to wind down. Like they act
mhm,
like we got
mhm.
plenty of time. I'm like, can you do your shit so I can be free to be me?
Be well, it's like we always said, your emergency is not someone else's emergency.
It's all right. But I'm gonna turn that around in a minute. Their emergency is not going to be mine because December 17th, it's a wrap. My husband's birthday is this weekend. And
Oh,
that is
oh,
most important.
okay. Go on and
Not
minister. Go on and minister to your husband then.
that is
You
most
know,
important. We're
she in
celebrating the day he was born.
she in that wife in ministry.
Mhm. I told him today, I said, oh, I'm so grateful you were born.
Hmm.
He started laughing, but I am.
Yeah, I
I
gotta make
am
some
grateful.
decisions about my dating life.
Oh, what decisions are we making, sir?
That thing that I told you yesterday,
Oh, yes. Is that already a decision made or you're still considering?
I'm considering it. Um, so we'll see. Like, okay, I mean, you know what? I'll share with the world. Like,
I was like, they gonna want to know what's happening. What's happening?
I am considering celibacy. There's gonna be a sound effect there somewhere if this was pre-recorded. I wish I had a button to where it's like dun dun
I was just
dun.
like, hope your phone don't start blowing up. Somebody that's gonna be like, what?
Right now, I'm considering it. I haven't made that decision yet,
Mm-hmm.
but something's got to give. I think more of the decision is like, here we go.
You know
Um,
the reactions.
I mean, technically, I'll be already doing that anyway. It's not like I'm out here in these streets.
Mm-hmm. Be Free
So,
Hope said you can do it. I believe he can as well. It's
I mean,
really I mean, of course you can do it. Maybe, let's talk about why it's even something on your mind, or why you're leaning into it, and like what is your intention? Like that's the most important thing. Like anything that we do, you want there to be a
well,
benefit from it.
I think just the older that I get, it's more about like there's a lot just connection lacking. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So just to be having sex to have sex, and then afterwards, it's like, yeah, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it's like if I can't interact outside of sexual, then what's the point? You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be a relationship, but there has to be more connection.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I do it, maybe it might even go deeper than that, depending on how long I do it. Kind of like when I decided, like I no longer drink soda, and cola specifically, right? I haven't had it in over 10 years now. So,
Mm-hmm.
but when I originally decided to do it, it was like 2 weeks. And then I was like, well, I'm gonna just go a month. I'm gonna go 30 days. And then I did. I was like, I might as well just keep going. It was like Forrest Gump, like running cross country. I didn't come this far. I might as well keep going. And then here I am over 10 years later, and I don't miss it. Now I'm not saying that I'll miss sex, but it's more so not necessarily. I still get to know the
I
person. I
don't.
just don't. I just
Yeah,
don't be liking the
I
person.
won't blanket agree with that. I think in some cases it makes people lazy. And especially if that is what you're in it for, like if
Mhm,
that's your goal and then you get it, some folks, they lose the drive to really go deeper.
mhm.
But that's not everybody's,
Right. And see, that was
story.
like
But
in
is
my
that your
20s.
story? Let's
No,
talk
so
about that.
okay, it was more like okay, in my 20s or whatever. You still new to having sex. You ain't really, you just whatever. It was you just happy to get some. You trying to see who gonna give it up. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so that's all it was about, like just sex. And so as you get older and you mature and women mature, and then you got women that want it more than men as you get older, you know what I'm saying? So they be like, when you gonna let me hit that? And then when you start like, especially in my experience, and probably most men, when you start becoming more attractive on paper, you start becoming more attractive in real life. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so there's less work that has to go into it. So before it was like, I would get over on my name, but you had to put in more work as a dude in your 20s, right? But then it's like you start, adding degrees and letters behind your name, and income changes, and just things start growing, and you're doing more. And so, because so many women are turned on by the idea of security, right? And you start to look like that and more. It's not just that. It's like, I'm not saying like they just after the bag, um, in general, but it's like it's easier, and then the options from men are more vast. So
Hold on a second.
the feedback
I
I
have
hear
to
too.
switch my. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you could hear me double. I was just letting you know so it don't disturb
Oh,
your
okay, got
sound.
you.
There you go.
But just older, as you get older and as you change, I'm not even gonna say mature, as you change, what you desire changes, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so in this pursuit of companionship, um, just my interactions in general have to be mutually beneficial, right? And so I'm not driven by sex. I enjoy sex, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be sexless, but I also, it's a waste of time to be like, oh, you're gonna come through, smash, and then now I want you to leave. Like, I could be doing something better with my time. But
Absolutely.
can I call you and be like, hey, let's go to a movie. Hey, let's go out to eat. Hey, let's hang out and do something. You know what I mean? Like, do I get more fulfillment than just physical with you? And I think
Mm-hmm.
it's more, I want to save time. Like, I don't want to, okay, I'm gonna go, I can hang out with this woman and we just gonna have fun, but then I'm horny, so I'm gonna call this woman up so I can have sex. But I want somebody to cook. This one cooks, so I'm gonna call, like, I the whole
It
getting
sounds
different
tiring.
things. It's very tiring. It's a lot of work, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And work that I don't have time for anymore because I'm usually like, so the more that you can get from that one person, which is the goal anyway, is, but it's like, I guess the women I've been meeting or dealing with, are you like, like for real? So like, I got some screenshots to show you.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I'm waiting on the screenshots. I'm waiting on the
Yeah.
screenshots. So we have a couple of comments over on
Mhm.
Instagram. Be Free Hope says sexual is not as satisfying without some form of connection, which I believe is
Right.
what you just described.
Hmm.
And Aaron saying deeper connections beyond the physical. You love her soul and mind. The body will follow. And like I said, I agree with all of these in some form. I just don't think it's a one size fits all, because clearly we know people or have heard, people that are married that
Hmm.
smashed on the on the first night, so it
Right.
doesn't necessarily mean that all the time. But it is great to know that, you can build the relationship and the connection and the chemistry and like all of that come together and just be this, overwhelming experience. But it doesn't go like that for everybody. However, it is important for you to know what is a non-negotiable for you. And I do agree, as you get older, I don't know if it's just getting older or maybe you have access to sex that, you just like, well, shit, it's not like I have to beg for it. It's available. And you just get to the place where it's like, this is not all she wrote.
Hmm.
And these are things that I think, were really said to us, or maybe people tried to tell us when we were younger. But when you're chasing it, right?
Right.
Or
Like I'm like, listen.
yeah.
It's almost like that scene in Thin Line when Smitty was like, the older you get, the better choices your dick make. you know.
Hmm.
And he looked at him when old girl put it like, what my dick thinking? Or no, saying no, my dick ain't that old yet. My dick
Yeah.
ain't that old yet. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it takes a certain amount of maturity to start to reprioritize these things, I think is what it is. Like I hope, sex is never at the bottom of the list, but it's not necessarily at the top.
But you know what?
Depending
It
on
is,
what you're.
but it is at the top of the list, right? Like for me, sex is the most important thing in a
Well, that's what I
relationship.
said, not necessarily, and
Uh-huh.
we're not all you. So
Uh-huh.
it's not necessarily at the top. But we don't want. I would say I wouldn't want it necessarily to be at the bottom,
Hmm.
but reprioritizing, and maybe for you to say that you are thinking about celibacy, it can't be number one. because otherwise you wouldn't strike it, right?
Well,
That
no,
doesn't mean it's not
but
important. It doesn't mean
but
it's
I'm striking it because it is number one. You know what I mean? So it's like that thing that I hold most important. Like, I'm not just trying to be random with it if there's no connection. You see
Mhm.
what I'm saying? It's like I'm striking it because I'm not trying to give it to just anybody that I don't have a connection with. You got it's more
Mhm.
like you got to do more, you know what I'm saying, to get it, because it's a waste of time. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like that's just like really it's just a waste of time. I want more of an experience versus like afterwards, can we talk? You know what I'm saying? Are we watching a movie and dissecting it, or like, it's just like, okay, well, that's over. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And so yeah, I just don't feel that, you know.
Oh, child. Well, Dominic says, I thought dating gets better when you're older. Let me lose hope now. Yeah. I was talking to my sans, or one of them, um, the other day, and I was just like, Lord, please don't ever let me wind up having to pass through this way again. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know if it's getting older, if it's the time that we're living in. I don't know if it's that we're getting older in this time. It might be all of that.
Mhm.
And Dominic, I know you're younger than we are. So,
Mhm.
that's why I don't necessarily want to put an age on it as much as I'm like the age that we're in.
Mhm.
It's crazy. The stories that I hear, shout out to all of our viewers and listeners and the things that you all share, with us. Even the fact that we have a segment called "The
The
Fuck,"
fuck.
there's a reason why we have
Mhm.
that. So, you know, these things are happening. Janae says it definitely doesn't get any better out here. I've lost all hope. Yeah, that's I literally hate
Mhm.
reading that or hearing that from anybody, but I also understand because I don't know that I would be super hopeful. I wasn't super hopeful when I wound up in the relationship that
Mhm.
I'm in. That was just like word. Like it was
But right, so here's something interesting, and here's a question that we have to ask, right? And we have to be fair. What are we doing wrong, right?
Mhm.
Because it's easy to say, "Ah, man, look, I'm just being celibate because these women out here, blah blah blah." You know what I'm saying? But also, I know I'm doing something that I said I was going to stop doing, and I hadn't stopped. Well, I stopped, and then I went back to it. I had talked to my therapist about it, everything else, and
About celibacy or something else.
about online dating,
Oh, okay. Mhm.
right? And it's kind of like it's not working for me because that's not how I date.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, every woman that I tend to interact with, and so the popular thing is dating with intention and dating with a purpose,
Mhm.
and I don't subscribe to that, and I never have, right? Because, and I think we've discussed this before, it's like when we go into it saying I'm dating with a purpose, what we're literally saying is, at hello, I'm now auditioning you for my life partner, right? I am immediately looking for qualities in you for a life partner, and it's hello, and we trying on last names.
Mhm.
And how logical is that? You know what I mean? It's not organic. So when we think about best, like, you and I cannot trace the day we became best friends, right? We just looked up one day, like, you know what I'm saying?
Stuck with him. No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we know how we met, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? We know some of the progression, but we don't remember at what moment where it's like, this is my best friend, right?
Oh, I remember you were playing me a song.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is when it was for me. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
when it was for you. But I remember it was a song, and it was something about being best friends, like
Mm-hmm.
in the lyrics. And I was like, "Is that how he feels about me?" I was so like, I mean,
Right.
it was
And
almost
so,
like
yeah,
asking me to be your friend. I was like,
yeah.
"Yeah,
And like, the thing is just, when someone becomes your person, you
mm-hmm,
don't think about it. It's like, I have this feeling or this thing going on, and this is the person that I'm sharing it with. Be it a thought, be it, you know what I mean? And then it's like, you don't have reservations about it because there's no judgment to when you share these things. You know what I mean?
So,
Um,
and Dominic, I was just gonna ask, like, is it possible for it to be both? Like, and this is also where I think, men and women differ in our communication and our understanding, because we've talked about this too. Like, women will say something and be like, that's not what I didn't mean it like that. And you guys hear it exactly how it's said. You're like, but that's what you said, right? And so I think it's the same thing. Like, dating with a purpose for me is like, my purpose is to be in a serious relationship and to get married. So if I am experiencing anything, we have conversations that's away from that. That's helping me weed out what is not for me or who I am not for. I never thought about it like, when I sit down, my purpose is to marry you. I don't know you.
but
but
right,
but
but
my
we're still.
purpose is to
But the
be
thing
married.
is,
So I
as soon as we exchange numbers, we a candidate though because we're exchanging numbers with the purpose to possibly date, right?
right, but I don't what okay, maybe I just don't understand.
Okay, so like
So what is wrong with that? Like, somebody being a you want it to be, you're not a candidate until I
it's
determine that you're a
so
candidate?
no, it's like what you just said. I don't know you.
Exactly.
So how can I be a candidate or how can there be a purpose for me at all? Right? It's
No,
kind
there's
of
a
like
purpose for me. Like,
right, no,
Andrea has the purpose, and if you are sitting across from me, do you fit into that purpose? Not that
right.
you have a
And I
purpose.
think that's what's problematic. It's like you have this purpose as opposed to we just met. Hey, let's hang out. Let's see if we like hanging out. You know what? I actually like you beyond hanging out. Then
But
like we
you
skip
do
and
do that.
no, we don't. And that's what I'm saying. That's the experience because because I'm not dating with any intent for you. I don't know you. My intent is to get to know you. That is the only intent that I have. And once I get to know you, I make a decision on how I'm going to compartmentalize you. Hey, we're going to be friends. Hey, I actually am kind of digging you. Or hey, I really don't like you as a person, and we're probably not going to talk again. You know what I mean? But when you're like, so especially so now when you take this to online dating, right? It's like, okay, well, what's your purpose on here? What are you looking for, right? Because they want to know that you're looking for the same thing that they are, so you can be on this same trajectory. Versus, let's just have some conversations and then plan to go spend some time together in person to see if we even enjoy each other enough to do that on a consistent basis,
Okay, well, that's what
right?
I'm saying. I don't think that I think of it like that. I don't think of it just because, okay, if I say I want to be in a serious relationship and your intention is to be in a serious relationship, that we're automatically a pair. Like,
Well, no,
I
no,
still
but it's not
consider
like that
you
because
as.
there's more. But there's more to it because then you get women that's like, well, I don't believe in dating multiple people. Blah 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 blah. Aaron, no, um, like there's all these different things, right? So when I'm like, nah, I'm dating. You know what I'm saying? Like I might be going out
So
with you,
then the
but
goal is to find somebody who feels the same way. Much like anything, like, I'm not gonna be able, someone who comes to the table ready to get married and that is what they're looking for, I'm not gonna be able to change their mind, right? So if we don't match even with that, then,
right. But I'm talking.
sayonara, and
But what
I'm
is the
moving on to the
success?
next
Yeah,
person
but
that
what?
wants to have fun.
Right, but no, it's like when we think about the success rate of intentionality, right? Because we get real intentional about people we don't know and we begin to rush and force. Like people get to know each other in a relationship versus,
Mhm.
hey, let me get to know this person to see if I want to be in a relationship with them. You know what I mean? Because you find out you don't even know this person or y'all don't match and everything else, and then you go through this whole breakup. And so I think I feel like we just skip so many steps. You see what I'm
I
saying?
agree. And we have an episode on that. It's the
Hmm.
premarital episode. I can't remember the exact number right now, but go
Hmm.
look for it on our YouTube page. It was right before I got married. We had the conversation about conversations that a lot of couples do not
Don't
have,
not have.
right?
Hmm.
Until I do, or God forbid, after I do. Not really, God forbid, because it needs to happen, right?
Mhm.
So whether you do it before or after, but the conversation we had was that there are topics that a lot of people avoid,
Mhm.
or they have surface level conversations, and then you come to find out that the person that you're with or that you're having children with is not on the same page that
Mhm.
you're on, and that
Right.
has to be
Yeah.
tough.
And so yeah, and so here's an example. I was having a conversation with our mutual friend. And I'm sending you the name real quick.
I know, I was like, put it in the chat.
Right.
Y'all know what happened when I go to the private chat. I mean,
Yeah.
how did I
So
already know? Okay, good.
so I was sharing how we vet our friends more stringently than we vet our potential life partners, right? And back to the examples, like you can't trace the day when you, most people can't trace the day when you became best friends. It's just, hey, we're best friends, right? But when you think about your friends, you've never approached someone that's like, damn, how are you? I'm Barzini. What's your name? You know what? I feel like we should be friends. You're like, I'm looking for a best friend. I feel like you can be that. Let's exchange numbers and see what's up. Like we don't do that. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? You like you met somebody and then you keep seeing them and like, hey, you cool, you cool. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden you start striking up conversations and you find out you have things in common and you have fun with this person and then y'all start hanging out like, but like it's just this thing that starts happening and all of a sudden it's like, damn, like we friends. Like we friends without the people that we became friends through or however we became friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's this organic, natural progression that you weren't even expecting. It just happened. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? And
And I
so,
don't disagree that it is a better way or another way to consider getting into relationships. I'm just saying that it doesn't necessarily happen that way, and not for the reason that was like my understanding again of purpose or intention is not to skip any of that. It is to be clear about me and what my desires are, so that person doesn't get it misconstrued, and then we go on the journey. Like I don't believe that the journey needs to be skipped, but I hear you when you're saying like that qualifier, I
mhm.
guess, doesn't have to be there, just go on the journey. But people are just,
we
I
just
don't
we
know, they're
yeah
more fearful, they feel like it's something that they need to put out there. Like, what do you guys think about, you know dating without that qualifier, without telling somebody or having a particular intention beyond let's
mhm,
get to know each other and see where this goes? I maintain, I believe I said it on a previous episode, or perhaps a live, it's really about people's time, right? Like where I am now, the 6 years that I put in, I don't feel nothing about it, right? Because it's 6 years on what I believe will be the rest of my life. And we pray it's a long, long life.
mhm,
But had I dated for 5 or 6 years, or at the time of the engagement, 5 years, going into 5 years, like, and then it all fell apart at the age that I am, I would have absolutely felt
mhm.
some kind of way.
Right,
Now, that still doesn't mean you should rush into anything. I'm just talking about what people's
right,
feelings are is around their time. I
right.
can't get this
But
time.
here's the difference for you though. You had such a huge advantage of this is somebody you already knew.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And have known for years.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So it wasn't this thing where it started with, "Hey, how you doing? My name is hashtag Boo. What's your name?" Right? Hey, oh, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm Dre Renee. Blah blah blah. No, it wasn't. It wasn't from scratch. You see what I'm saying? It was a
Does
dynamic
that
shift.
make it better if it didn't work
Yeah.
out?
No, it doesn't. But what I'm saying is, I feel like you had an advantage, a higher success rate because this is somebody you're familiar with, and you had where you were, like your starting point, your romantic starting point started from having an organic progression up to there. You see what I'm
All right.
saying?
Well, I wasn't trying to put my relationship as I was just talking about the time
Well, no, I get it.
and
No, I get it.
why
Yeah,
people are skittish about
right.
let's just see where this
No,
goes.
I
Not
get it. So the
okay.
but the reality is you actually have way more years than the 6 that you're mentioning. You see what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
And
Right.
so I get like, yeah, people are scared to waste their time. People are getting older, blah, 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 blah. But the reality is this: the time is gonna pass anyway, and you can't guarantee the success rate. And so, like anything in life, we keep trying to skip a lot of steps to get to this point in life, and dating is
Mhm.
not different. You see what I'm saying? It's like, oh, how can I get promoted to blah 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 blah? Well, you got to do the position before that. You got to get this degree. You got to get this license. You got to get this certification. Nobody wants to do that part. You see
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Everybody just wants to be CEO. You know what I mean? Without learning how to do it. Everybody wants to be this super successful rich entrepreneur without learning entrepreneurship. I don't want to take the courses. I don't want to get a coach. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to do like all the stuff you preach in your business. People don't want to do that. And when they don't follow the steps that you give them because you've already took that journey before them and quite frankly for them, they fail. You see
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And so when we look at the majority of relationships fail. And so when we look into that, like, why is that? I contend we rush. We just want to get to the end point. It's like, hi, how you doing? Here's my list of things you can no longer do because they're going to
Mhm.
make me mad. And if you love me, this is what you're going to do. And if you want to be with me, you have to have this. I don't want to earn it. You just have to give it to me, right? Because that's what men are supposed to do, and that's what
Oh
women are supposed
boy.
to do. Like nobody wants to put forth effort. Everybody just wants to be like, boom, here it is, ready made. Let's jump into this relationship.
I love it. Dominic says comparing my experiences with women who are never married to recently divorced, that underlining feeling of I need to be a wife is a huge factor. Let me say, oh my gosh. So I had this conversation, I think I had it with you about
Mhm.
somebody that I know that's been like, oh my God, like every waking moment almost around like when am I going to get a proposal? When am I going to get, when am I going to get there? I can't wait until. And I think that sparked this kind of conversation. And I'm like, this journey is not for everybody. Like
Mhm.
everybody's not going to have this journey. It doesn't make you more or less of a woman, just like motherhood, right?
Mhm.
It's not gonna be everybody's portion, if you will. But we do put a whole lot on it ourselves, but then mothers do it to daughters, grandmothers do it to granddaughters,
Mhm.
friends may do it to one another. And it's really interesting.
Mhm.
It really is interesting. And so for the women, I mean, whether you're a wife or not, particularly if that's something that you want to be, like, do you feel like you have put an undue amount of pressure on yourself, and or the person or people that you have dated or are dating, to get there?
Mhm.
Because I absolutely agree in the rushing. There are some things that are just missed. And then you want the person to either become somebody that they're not,
Mhm.
or hurry up and mature or get to a place that may take them some time, because you jumped the gun.
Mhm.
And it's not fair. It's not fair to you. It's not fair to them. Definitely, if you have children involved in the situation, but
Right.
being a wife is a blessing. I've only been here for um, a month and some change, but um, again, I was who I was when I walked in the door.
Mhm. I
and
mean, yeah.
and that, you know what I'm saying? That was the point.
Mhm.
Like becoming that person or a better version of that person, so
Mhm.
that, whether you become somebody's wife or husband or not, like your purpose on this earth is to fulfill like what it is that you were sent here to do. And a part of that might be being somebody's spouse, but it might not be. and that doesn't, decrease the importance of what it is that you're supposed to be getting done. But we get really clouded with that. Like your value increases as a result. Like I know some real unhappy married people.
Oh shit.
Okay.
As do I.
So I'm not talking down on it. It's a wonderful institution. I'm very happy to be here. Okay. Coming to America and all. But don't get it twisted, and definitely don't rush to get to a place that, you spent more time as boyfriend and girlfriend than you will as husband and wife. That would suck. So I'm glad that Dominic is here. We actually got tagged in his post this week about having a specific type, which I think lends itself well to what we've been
Talking about, yeah.
talking about. And so, kind of as an abbreviated version, he mentioned be specific to have specific. All this, I don't have a type, reads: 1, I don't know what I want. 2, anyone that will take care of me will do. I'm realizing that maybe not having a type is a red flag. And so I know we jumped in there. I made a couple of comments, but I know the conversation continued even after that. But I was saying that I noticed the difference between what's your type, which is a question that generally gets asked, and then what he said he asked or has asked was, what type of man are you looking for? And to me, that was two different things, and I could really appreciate either one, but I could appreciate his sentiment behind, if somebody can't describe, and especially at our age, like you can't describe the type of man or woman that you want, or that, for all of our woo-woo people, you're manifesting, right? Like that's not that does seem like an issue. And not that we're expecting you to roll out the scroll and give us, A through Z, but, not knowing at all. My first thought when I saw the post was, well, if we come out with a list, then it's almost like, to me, what you were just describing with intention. Like if I come out like, okay, these are the things that I want, then, you may automatically feel some kind of way. So women may kind of reserve that.
Cheers.
So let me just see how this works, right? How do we vibe? How does this go before I give you this list and potentially run you away? So speaking of, I gotta get my go ahead and give me your thoughts. I gotta send for my charger.
Right. Yeah, because that can be bad. It's an interesting perspective, and I don't entirely agree nor disagree. Right. It's funny, and because there's just two schools of thought, and I've been a student of both schools, right? So we have the for lack of a better term, the cliche school of thought, like write it down, make it plain, be specific, and everything else. And so that's what I had done in the past. But what that lends itself to is rather than getting to know someone, you begin to check boxes. You see what I'm saying? And when someone doesn't have this box, or maybe say they don't have 2 or 3 of your boxes, right? Because there's no,
some of them boxes y'all need to scratch out. Let me just
but
some of the boxes are toxic.
Right. But here's the thing, though: who's to say what someone's boxes should be? Because this is what they desire, right? Because we're saying
look, because 6'4" and above got scratched the F off my list.
But
toxic.
But when we
sorry
say
to all you tall brothers.
But if the post says be specific to get specific, right? The boxes are very specific, and so it's like we add the biblical context to it. Like I just said, like write it down, make it plain, and 6'4", 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? drive a 6'4", all the sixes, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for men, whatever, she got to cook, she got to be this, and all that, and this, that, and the third. And so then when somebody doesn't have, like, you can have like this great connection with somebody and this, but there's some boxes she don't check.
Yeah.
Like, and then you go, well, no one's perfect. No one's going to have all your boxes. So then the thing is, well, how many boxes are they supposed to have? What's the percentage of boxes? Because everyone has a different number of boxes. Do we say, okay, what are your 10 boxes? We don't, like, it's not.
Like, oh my God, you only have 5. You failed.
Like, oh my God, you only have 5 boxes? That's not
Yeah.
specific enough. What about that? You know what I'm saying? So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, we just say make a list, and somebody might have 50 boxes, and then somebody, like you said, has 5 boxes. What, you know what I'm saying? What is it? And so my father and I were having a conversation. We have a Bible study over the phone, and we started talking about predestination. You know what I mean? And I think I've told this story before, but we talk about how in Jeremiah says, before I formed you in the belly, I knew you. First, y'all so cute.
I was waving at the people on IG.
Oh, okay. It looked like
He's
you was
not
waving
in
that
here.
hashtag. You was kind of gushy. You got the gushy look.
Well, I was just saying, like, I don't really give
Right.
them much love.
Right.
I was looking straight
Oh,
ahead,
okay.
so I wanted to give
Shout
them
out
love.
to IG. I see the Sigmas is on. What's going on, Tay?
Yeah.
I ain't seen Tay in
We had
like,
Tyrone
in years.
last week.
Oh, real? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The Long Beach Sigmas. So we were talking about predestination, and then it's like, before I formed you in the belly, I knew you. So what that's talking about is God had an intimate relationship with us before we were ever made flesh. Before he ever met us in the flesh, there was already an intimate relationship. He knew, he was already in love with us,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so then we go into Genesis, where it says, I'm let us make man in our image and after our likeness. So if we are like God, you see what I'm saying? After his likeness, after his image, after who he is, then our counterpart, we should love before we ever meet them in flesh, because they are us. God loved us and had an intimate relationship with us because we are him. So what we should be, and so what I took from that is, I am not looking for specific boxes. I'm looking for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for the God in me, in her. You see what I'm saying? And so, of me in movie. So of all places, like, Wedding Crashers had the dopest quote when she was asking him, what is love, right? And even though it was game, it was a dope definition. He was said, love is the soul's recognition of its counterpart in another. You see what I'm saying? And so it's like, instead of looking for boxes, I'm looking for connection. Do we connect? Because it's not about being the same in every area. It's like, where do we supplement each other? Is she strong in the places that I'm weak?
But that could be a box. That could still be a box.
It could be, but it's more of a question. So it's like, okay, well, let me test that. Let me see. Like, no, it's more like, we're just existing together and growing, and then we're noticing these things. I don't have time to look down. You know what? That one time she did this, because how many times does she have to do a thing for it to check off a box? Is it once? Is it like 5 times because it's a so these are the variables that we start thinking about. You know what I'm saying?
You way deep in it. If I see it, I see it. But if I don't see it, I mean, but there are certain things you have to live through to know, right? Like, how do people handle anger? How do people handle grief? Like, you can't just snap your fingers and it happens. But there are some things, like, are you a liar? That could be a box. That's not
everybody, but everybody lies.
Well, yes.
So everybody's
not do you lie? Are you a liar? I believe that, more times than not, I hope, when we're having a conversation, that you are telling me the truth, or that I
keep
have
it 85 all the time.
Huh?
I said I keep it 85 all the time.
No, right? I was just like, oh Lord. But I absolutely hear what you're saying. I do not disagree. I think, to the point that he was making, is that there's a base. There's something that we all are looking for, whether it's a reflection of ourselves, and that to the point that you were making, like, we can't tell somebody what's right or wrong. Some people do want a mirror image of themselves. I think that's scary, but some people are out there looking for themselves, and it really takes a level of experience and maturity to realize, that we're not as great as we think we are all the time. That's,
Facts. Listen,
oh my God.
Maisha got the quote of quotes on that area. Like I told you, she was talking to some dude. I forgot what he said, but her response was, there's a gap between who you think you are and how you think others see you.
Yeah. Like
Like,
we're not all,
mhm,
all the even the greatest person, not all the time. And then your greatness may not be received in the way that you think it is to the next person, right? Like maybe the
mhm.
last person you were dating, loved everything that you did. Like, oh my God, I love your fried chicken. And then you end up with a vegan. So
I
you being able
do,
to fry fried chicken don't
yeah.
really
I do make some good fried chicken. I made some last night, as a matter of fact. So
I know. I
I
was I,
just
I was watching you as you were cleaning the chicken. I was like, this mess. Um, but yeah, I mean, Dominic, go ahead, weigh in, some of your thoughts so we can
he
share
need to be
them
on here.
with the audience. But I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say, it's an outright uh red flag, because a lot of times people are still getting to know themselves. Or I would
Hmm.
say I went through a period where I was reevaluating those things that I wanted or thought that I wanted.
Right.
Like, oh God, if I would have gotten what I thought that I wanted, I don't think I'd be here talking to you guys. I have my
Facts.
my face in a puddle of tears. It would just be awful.
Right. And
So,
yeah. Go
for
ahead. I'm sorry.
some, they're trying to figure it out. For some, maybe they've wanted the same thing for years, and now they're trying to get away from that and expand their horizons. And like, I want to see what else is out there. I never thought that I would date a guy that wasn't an athlete or a doctor or
Mhm.
whatever. And now I met you. You're a creative, or you're in the arts, and so it
Mhm.
might not necessarily be a bad thing, but I think character parts,
Mhm.
right? Like, or shared experiences, wanting somebody that even if you don't like all the things that I like, are you a person that is going to be okay with me still being me?
Mhm.
That's
Right.
important. Like, do you
Right.
have your own interests? They may not be the same interests. Do you have your own
Mhm.
damn
Right.
interests that you can go be bothered with? It really was speaking to someone, knowing what they are compatible. Yeah, it's just like you, it may not necessarily be about 6'4" and above. It might be patience. It might be I'm a resourceful person that knows how to make it shake with whatever it
Mhm.
is that I have going on. I'm a resilient person. And I think you were talking about like a speed dating situation. So that's different from being able to really experience somebody and find this kind of stuff out about them. But it's interesting topic.
Mhm. And Dominic, let us know if you want to jump on this call and join us, so you can kind of expound. If you're in a well lit and your audio is up to par.
Yeah, I'm a no. If we haven't already tested it out,
Uh-huh.
we'll
It's
catch
like
you on the next go
like been there,
our
done that. We
production. Well,
listen.
he
Hmm.
might be all right because I think he
Yeah,
does lives
he's but yeah, he's
all the
he's
time.
yeah he's
But yeah, we want to hear from those of you, whether you're watching right now or if you wind up watching this on a replay. Go ahead and drop your comments
comments. Yeah.
so that we can interact with you. Just while we're kind of taking a brief pause, just as a reminder, we are on hiatus for our recorded episodes. So our regular Thursday drops are not happening until next year, and we'll give you the return date. But we are here periodically doing some pop-up lives just to continue to interact with you. It's a little more relaxed and
Mhm.
just kind of vibing. So we appreciate you being here, also sharing the broadcast with as many people as you can. And as we say every time we get on here, please subscribe to
Right.
the YouTube channel. This is a way for you to remain connected whenever we go live. But also during this break, you have the opportunity to go back into the content bank and just binge. I saw on this day, little memories in Facebook, that we had started to promote our Riley
So
episodes
today, a
today.
year ago
Yeah,
today,
last year. So
I
that
saw
was
that.
that was dope.
The universe be universing. So the crazy part was, I was watching our live from a year ago today
Oh.
because that came up in the feed too. We went live a year ago today, and there was a segment in the live where we was talking about Kobe, and we was talking about TMZ and how they don't have a responsibility to be right only first because they're a tabloid, you know. And I literally was having the same conversation at work today where I was explaining that very thing. And then, like, when Kobe died and how they just went with it without his wife knowing, and Michael Jackson, like, I had the conversation at work today. And then I'm just like looking at the footage from an old lot, and we had the same. I was like,
Wow.
and it's crazy how just like how life is not linear but cyclical,
Cyclical. Yeah.
because so many times, like, my Facebook memories are scary because it never fails. Every time I go back, it's the same. That's how I figured out, like, I get sick every February. No, seriously, because every time I check it, somewhere in February, oh, not feeling good, sick. Like, I'm always sick in February, or I'm doing this. And so I even said I was about to eat something, and I think I ate the same thing today, or I'm gonna go work out. Like, it's just our life force has this pattern. And I'm wondering, how much of it is our mindset or whatever that keeps us in this continuous cycle. Because if we're still in the same place that we were, and we notice we're doing the same things around the same time, you know what I mean? And so I wonder, like, what are the steps you have to take to break that cycle in order to transcend into the next part of life? You know what I mean? Because it just lends itself to say you the same person, you know. So it's just real interesting to me, like,
That's
damn.
deep.
Right.
That's deep. That's deep.
And
I'm
if
also
y'all want to
gonna.
get deep with us, then y'all need to go, if you on IG, the link is in the bio. Click that, go to our YouTube, scroll down, hit subscribe, share it with 2 people, and tell them to do the same thing. Yeah, we need y'all. We're still on a mission to get to 10,000 followers on our subscribers on the YouTube channel. So make sure you do that. And y'all, we have extremely extensive content bank already. So y'all have a few weeks to catch up
Right.
for when we come back with the recorded episodes. So you were about to.
Bitly in there. No, I was just
Yeah.
throwing the Bitly in there, and then reminding folks for donations if they would love to donate to the podcast. As you always say, it's a labor of love, but love ain't free.
And if you think it is, go tell your landlord you love them.
Right. End up on your butt. So
Right.
we would absolutely appreciate it. It's interesting. So, I'm watching different platforms, and so they have memberships and different things like that. So I'm like, oh, people be dropping money on a regular basis. That's a membership is a subscription. I was like, oh, that's a
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
So, we might be asking for the wrong thing. Instead of asking for a little one drop, we might need to,
Yeah.
create some
Subscribe, like, go on, subscribe to the Patreon.
and creating content just for our subscribers, our paid subscribers.
Right. You know what I'm
And
saying?
then instead, because we are developing some things and we're just trying to figure, how to make our channel bigger and better, but we may be thinking we
Too
need to think
small.
in a different direction.
Right. It's going
Keep
next
base
time.
level base, and then
And then,
premium need to.
yeah, it's gonna cost you $7.99 a month.
That's right. We good for it. We
I'm
good for it.
saying we be giving y'all more than $7.99 worth of content. We done did that tonight.
Mm.
I'm worth more than $7.99 an hour.
Amen.
You know, my
My
check tell
hourly
me that.
rate is well above that.
Yeah, she's expensive,
Well,
y'all.
well, well above that. Oh, that was oh okay. I missed your comment. That was probably about 6 minutes. Yay go. I don't know how long we plan to stay on. We're almost at the hour mark, but
Right. And
um
while we're on, I do want to make sure that we shout out and congratulate Steph Curry, who passed Ray Allen tonight at Madison Square Garden and is now the the league's leading all-time three-point shooter. He's the greatest shooter that we've seen in our time, and how he's changed the entire game of basketball. So shout out to Chef Steph,
shout out to Steph.
aka Cheat Code.
Is that his name?
I've been calling him that for years. Some people started calling
Oh,
him that,
I
but
was like, wow, I ain't
no. So
never
yeah, they
heard that.
call him Chef. No, they call him he a whole cheat code.
I had never heard it, but I'm
Hmm.
not. I'm not against him. I just don't follow him, so I don't.
Oh yeah,
I don't
but
know.
no, yeah, he a whole cheat code. It's not fair that he shoots the way that he shoots.
Oh, hey,
And then on his
he
team, he
was
got
getting putting them up at the gym. I'm sure for years and years
right.
and years.
But you
So
wasn't with me when I'm shooting in the gym.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, shout out to Steph. So what else we got on the docket before we close out for the evening?
Oh my gosh. So while we're in basketball, I guess we can at least touch on this story. Candace Parker, the Candace Parker,
The Candace Parker.
WNBA star, actually came out, I guess, this week by wishing her wife a happy second anniversary, which means we late to the party. But her wife is also expecting, and her wife is like a Russian basketball star. I had to do a little research because didn't know any of these things. And so, people are posting about it. Mostly, hey, we didn't know Candace Parker, not that she was married, but that she was, gay. So that's been kind of the topic of several conversations,
I
because
got.
she has been married before.
I'm sorry. I just got a horrible joke in
Oh,
cause she don't play for the Sparks. She played for Chicago. I'm like, look, when you said you were switching teams,
oh Lord, she was real. She was really switching teams.
like,
Yeah.
you switch teams.
And people, I mean, clearly, well, I don't know her. If somebody knows her, maybe they could speak to this. But just because you were married to a man at some point in time in your life doesn't mean that you cannot now be married to a woman. She might have always been bisexual. She might have just been trying to fit into the mold. She might have wanted to make sure she had a biological child and didn't see, you know, a possibility otherwise. Like there's a lot of different reasons why she took the road that she did, and then keeping this part of her life very private until now. Like the world may never know, but folks acting like it's an impossibility. I'm like, get it together. It's all like I can't even say it's 2021 because it's literally almost 2022. Shout
Yeah,
out
I
to the
don't.
Rose.
Yeah, it's still confusing to me. I don't know. Like I had a conversation today, and I said such and such sexual preference.
Can you come? You're a little out of
Yeah, I
focus.
don't.
You might
Yeah,
need
I
to.
don't know
Okay.
what the deal is with the focus.
I was like,
Yeah, I
I know
was.
I've been drinking a little bit, but I ain't been drinking that
I
much.
am.
But why you
Yeah,
look like that?
there it goes. It's coming back to
Okay.
focus. Because you was doing the same thing a while ago.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Let me get close too.
yeah,
I want to be sharp.
that's funny.
Go ahead.
So yeah, I made this. I said, such and such sexual preference, and he was they were like sexual orientation, not sexual preference.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, and you know me, I'm like, okay, whatever. Like I can't keep up.
Man.
Because you talk to somebody else and they're like, no, it's sexual preference. It's just like, look, y'all, let me connect y'all and y'all
Y'all
can talk
figure out what
about
it is.
what it
Let
is.
me know.
Because I'm with the simplicity of things. But it begs the question, like, is she operating through an orientation or a preference? Who
Mhm.
knows? Not that it's our business, but it does raise the questions.
Right. For
And
the general conversation. It may not necessarily be about her, but
right, or
how
yeah,
does
in general,
this,
how does that
yeah,
work?
how does it work?
Um, and then I think it's real confusing because shit, most people assume she was still married to Sheldon Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Me among them. I did.
You was like, what world?
I missed the whole divorce. You know what I'm saying? So there's that part.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like she was a lot of dudes' crush. You know what I'm saying? She cute. You know what I'm saying? So it's like what? Like
R.I.P. R.I.P.
R.I.P. You know what I'm saying?
She killed
Hey,
that dream. Like, nope.
women turn gay every day. Be like, but then there's this. So I just watched Bruised the other night. Like, have you seen it?
You said roots?
Bruised, that the Halle Berry movie.
Oh, I was like, yeah, I've seen roots, but I don't know what that has to do with this. No, I haven't.
Behold, the only thing greater than yourself. Like, no.
Because I'm like, the new version or the.
Yeah, no, Bruised. So she's
Okay, no,
a
I have not.
MMA fighter. Well, I don't want to give spoilers, so if you haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Did you
I'm
intend on
sorry.
watching it?
It's on my list. That and the Sandra Bullock movie is on my list.
Mhm.
I just got
I
to
heard
get
her
there this
lips
week.
chapped the whole movie.
I can believe it.
And can Halle play a role where she's actually a good mother?
Well, the preview I saw, I was like, "Is this Losing Isaiah the sequel?" I didn't understand. I feel like I've been here
Listen,
before.
between losing Isaiah, Monsters Ball, this was like she is a horrible movie mother.
Yeah, I think I saw a movie on VH1. I was just scrolling by where like one of her kid got kidnapped and she was like chasing them down trying to get the kid back. I was like, yeah, your track record, sis, is
Oh, Hallie, don't
somber.
listen. Stop having
So
kids in movies, Hallie. I don't know what kind of mom you'd be in real life. Wait, does she got a kid in real life? I don't think so.
I think so with one of those husbands. I feel like there was some sort of custody something or visitation. Let me do a quick
And
Googles.
did she go get one from Africa? You know, that's what them
Oh
famous people be
Lord, no, I
doing
think she actually had.
for 79 cents a day.
Oh shit! Apparently, she had more than one, two.
Oh, oh,
She got a girl and a boy. Okay, so
oh.
the movie is good. I will definitely. It's on my list. It was hard for me to see her beat up like that. Yeah, I did. I went to Google to get my. But thank you for
Mhm.
letting us know. Yeah, she has
Oh,
two
well.
childrens, two
See how much I
childrens.
know about celebrity uteruses.
Child,
What
I
is that?
love
Is that
track.
the plural of uterus? I've been drinking. What's the plural of uterus? Is it
Uteruses,
uteruses, uteri?
uteri. I've never heard it be pluralized because everybody has it one or none. I've not heard. So it's not like,
Listen, if
oh,
somebody
I
can
want to
have
be.
both sexual organs, an additional uterus is not impossible. I'm sure.
I mean,
Like,
I said, okay, well, I have not heard of anybody having multiple. I've only heard of one or none. So
imagine if somebody did it and they got pregnant in both of them.
they be pissed.
Are they
But I
twin?
guess it's the same as having
Would they be
two in
twin?
one.
Right, but would they be twins?
Um, if they are, I guess so. I guess it would be the same be like fraternal. Fraternal is two eggs getting fertilized, and then the
And I don't even
identical is
call
one egg being
fraternals
switched.
twins. Those just two people that was born at the same time.
Well, I'm just saying if they're in two different uteruses, I guess
Mhm.
it's still the same as if they were
Yeah.
in the same one, but they.
Shout out to my cousins who are fraternal. They super fraternal. One light skin, one dark skin. When you
Yeah,
see a picture, you were like, they look alike, but it's like, wait, huh?
that's your twin.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah,
They twins.
that's my twin.
Right. Needless to
All
say,
right,
they
well,
not
it's
identical.
Tuesday. Trying to get to my tacos, my keto tacos.
Uh-huh. And your duties.
Well, I
You
mean, no, I'm literally just trying to get to my. I cooked before this because I was,
oh,
it's
you
not fair for
know,
him to have to wait for me to finish running my mouth. I'm like, you fine.
that's called marriage, as I understand it. Men
What
waiting
him
for
having to
women to
wait?
stop. No, men waiting for women to stop running their mouth. Like,
Oh wow, yeah. So that's further let you know he would starve. So no, no, I don't.
for sure,
I'm
for
not gonna
sure.
do him like that because it's
Mhm.
quiet in the streets today. So I don't know if we. I don't want to hold you, as they say. I don't want to hold
Uh,
y'all.
After they had held you for 2 hours, I'm
Yeah,
gonna let you. I'm gonna let you go. I didn't want
yeah.
nothing.
We don't want to hold y'all. We popping in and just trying to see what's good with y'all. Your Christmas shopping, if you Christmas shop, Barzini does not Christmas shop, so y'all don't have to worry about him.
Well,
He's doing just fine.
I did get a Secret Santa gift.
Oh,
I did Secret Santa at work for somebody who can't stand me, and my petty knows no
I
bounds.
was like, what'd
So,
you get him?
I spent well beyond the limit.
Oh,
Oh
and
yeah,
you
no,
don't like them? I mean, they don't like you?
yeah, no, they don't. They just like they just real got a funky attitude towards me. And this is the second time that I've done this, so it's like when people act like that and I get their name, oh, I'm gonna shower you with love and make you feel bad for being as petty as you are.
Oh,
Hmm.
well, look at that.
That is what we call the petty high road.
Mm, I'm not
Um,
there yet. I love my money too much.
yeah, I spent about 4 times the amount.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because people are like, oh my god, you got hooked up. Like, oh, I'm not.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm like, mhm. And then I'm not even gonna put my name on it.
Oh,
They gonna have to
well,
figure
how is it the pity? It's definitely the high road.
because
It sounds very high.
it also gives the imp- well, actually, this is not an illusion, but it sends the message that I'm not even looking for the accolades of it. I'm not even looking for people to like, oh my god, look what you did. This is about you. This is your gift. Go ahead. I'm
Hmm.
not putting my name on it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Merry Christmas. And then I got to give my god baby a gift, of course.
Okay. Well, children. I'm just meaning you not about to be,
Mhm.
all around town for no
Negative.
Christmas list. I did all my shopping. Well, I won't say because maybe people who are gonna get gifts are gonna hear, but
Right.
pretty much everybody's gonna get some of the same thing. I did one. I'm
Hmm.
just picking up a bunch of,
Look, yeah.
and you might get some different wrapping, but everybody's
Yeah.
gonna be.
That might change when I get married. She's like, oh, we gotta get gifts for her. But I'm like, we don't even like them.
I know. And that's another thing. I was just like, so many people did such nice things for us for our wedding and helping us. And so, there are some gifts that I bought this year that I probably wouldn't normally
Mhm,
buy, but I want to make sure to do that. And then
mhm.
I'm
Yeah,
free.
for
And we
sure.
just saw the proofs of our thank you cards, which are
Mm,
so dope. And so they should be to, I don't know if I'm going to get them out before Christmas, but they'll be holiday,
mhm.
New
Those
Year,
are Hanukkah and Kwanzaa.
yeah. I mean, they don't have snowflakes or nothing. It's not Christmas themed,
Mhm.
but just because it's this time of year, I wanted
Gotcha.
it to be like, oh, it'd be nice if it came in time for Christmas, but also
Mhm.
it's gonna be nice whenever you get it. So
Right. Bet.
yeah.
Well, y'all, this has been the Crossroads Live. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. On this Taco Tuesday. I wish I had some tacos. I actually do. I got some taco
No,
stuff
but
in
I'm
there.
getting ready to get off. Say it again.
No, I was wondering if I got taco stuff in there. So I don't know.
Oh,
But
oh,
y'all,
I have it. Is what you're saying? Oh Lord, have mercy.
what? What you done did?
So
Oh, you had the charger the
I
whole time.
text him to bring me my charger. When I said because when I looked down, I've been drinking. When I looked down, I did
Mm.
not see it, but
Okay, Tech Diva.
he came in like, "You got it?" I'm like, "No, I thought he just didn't get my message, but it's because he couldn't find it because it was in here with me." Well, shout out to marriage. What would
Yeah,
I
well,
do? I tell
yeah,
him all the time, "What would I do without you?" He's like, "I don't know."
yeah.
You,
Shout out to our executive producer,
you ain't never lie. He keep me together.
Lord Jesus. Anyway, so y'all, we love y'all. Until next time when we pop up, always, always, always remember,
Be
be
free
free
to
to be
be
you.
you.
We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.